Hello everyone, it's Enigma here, and welcome to this video that I want to, talk about my feelings towards, and, this is a character that has been highly speculated to be in Smash Brothers as part of the DLC, and I want to get my opinions out on this character. So, now for some of you who don't know, I'm talking about the character Katalina. And if you guys don't know who this character is from Granblue Fantasy. And some of you are probably like, what the heck is that? And you know what? That is actually a reasonable question, because this game originated from Japan, and it has yet to make a appearance outside of that region. So I want to talk about my feelings toward this character, Katalina, which is a character from this game. So, obviously, as you guys know, Sakurai has, made the DLC characters. The DLC characters are already decided, and he's not going to work on them until, after the game comes out. I don't know why I was trying to think of what I was saying, but anyways, as I was saying, that means that any of these characters could be leaked out by anyone, and that doesn't stop credible leakers from leaking out this stuff. And a lot of credible leakers, I think even including Vergiben, is saying Katalina from Granblue Fantasy might be in Smash. And you guys all know how credible I think Vergiben is. I think he's a very credible leaker. Same with Senju Hatagi. I think that's how you... I don't remember how to pronounce it, but I do know the last name is Hatagi. And so I'll just call it Hatagi. So Vergiben and Hatagi, basically, I think both of them said that there will be a Granblue Fantasy character that's most likely going to be Katalina. Now, I have a problem with this character being in Smash. I really don't want this character in Smash. I'm hoping that this is false information, because God, man, I really do not want this character in Smash. Now, I know what some of you guys are saying, Enigma, why do you not want this character that you don't even know or haven't even played any of the games before? Why don't you want her in Smash? Well, the thing is, I'm going to tell you guys a story. So, I was looking up Granblue Fantasy, because I've heard, Katalina brought up. I had no idea who she was. I had no idea what Granblue Fantasy was all about. I looked it up, and the genre of the game isn't what should be represented in Smash. Now, for those who don't know, Katalina comes from a gacha game. So Granblue Fantasy is a gacha game. Now, for those who don't know what a gacha game is, they're basically video games that use capsule toy mechanics, which is similar to loot boxes, to induce players to spend money. Now, that is basically like gambling games, because like games, like those are games that, you spend money on. It's kind of like EA games. You spend money on, pointless stuff. This is basically the same, mechanic. This is not the type of character to be represented in Smash at all. At all circumstances. They should never have a gacha character. And here's why. Now, gacha is like gambling. Gambling is for 18-year-olds and older. You cannot, Nintendo needs to remember their age rating. This is a game that's rated E for everyone. Now, this hasn't stopped characters like Snake and Bayonetta, but the differences with them is that they only come from an adult-rated series. This character comes from a game that could be illegal for underage kids to play. That is not the character to include in Smash. Not at all. You should not include a gacha character into Smash. Now, here's the thing. I've heard some people say that Granblue Fantasy is, like, incredibly popular in Japan. It's very popular. But that, even if it's popular, that's still really low of a character to include, even for Nintendo standards. Like, including this gacha, M-rated character, you know, this is just not a fit for Smash. Now, here's another thing. I think this is false information because think about all the other third parties that are in the game. I'm going to list all of them. All of the third parties that are in this game, I'm going to list them down. We have Sonic, Mega Man, Pac-Man, Cloud Strife, Ryu, Snake, Simon and Richter Belmont, Bayonetta. Those, I think, are all the third-party characters in Smash yet. There is something in common with all those characters. Maybe less so Bayonetta, but she still was very popular, assuming she was high on the Smash ballot. Here's the thing. Those characters have something in common, and that is their legacy in gaming. Sonic, Mega Man, Pac-Man, and the Belmonts, they're all legacy characters. Even Cloud Strife and Ryu, they are legacy characters. They're characters that have truly impacted the gaming industry, and, you know, these are characters that, you know, a lot of people know about, and if they saw them in Smash, they would obviously know who those characters are. They're iconic. This character we have nothing about, and I think the partial reason of this is because she's a Japanese character, and I don't think, I genuinely don't think she should be in because of that reason. Now, I know some of you might say, Marth and Roy were almost cut in the North American version of Melee, and, you know, we did not know about Fire Emblem was never released in North America before Marth and Roy came into Melee. However, there's actually a difference between Marth and Roy. Marth and Roy are Nintendo-owned characters. They make sense, and they're not gacha characters. They're actually Nintendo characters, but they were never localized into North America, but Nintendo wanted to bring those games over to the West so that more Western people could play them. Katalina comes from a gacha game, and to promote a gacha game character is really low of Nintendo to do. I love Nintendo, don't get me wrong, I really love Nintendo, but that is just a terrible decision. I really hope they do not go with that, because promoting a gacha game is not the way to go. That is definitely one of, I honestly would rather have Steve or Sans over Katalina, because just of that fact. Marth and Roy actually made sense because they're Nintendo characters. Sure, we've never seen them before, but they were Nintendo-owned characters that aren't a gacha game. They're actually a Nintendo game released on the Super Nintendo, but Nintendo wanted to localize them to the West so that more people were familiar with them. And look at it now. Fire Emblem is one of Nintendo's most highest successful series out there. Katalina from Granblue Fantasy, now I understand it may be popular, but, I mean, now I will admit though, it would be cool to see a character from a mobile game get into Smash, like that would be a cool concept, but I don't think they should ever do that, because I feel mobile games aren't, like, as impactful to gaming as console games. You know, a lot of phone games or mobile games are more so for the casual audience. Smash Brothers is geared toward, you know, the hardcore audience. So including a character from a gacha game, a mobile game, like, no. Now, here is my own personal problem with this character. I'm pretty sure a lot of people agree, but I am sick of the sword fighters. I'm sorry. I have to say it. I can't hold it in anymore. I'm sick and tired of the sword fighters. Like, I looked up Katalina. She's another sword fighter. And here's why I'm bringing this up. it's not just the problem with Katalina, it's just that we have so much Fire Emblem reps. Now, I know that Granblue Fantasy is not a Fire Emblem game. Far from it. But it's just that Fire Emblem is literally Sword Fighters, the series. All of Fire Emblem's characters are literally sword fighters. And, you know, I'm just tired of seeing sword fighters. Honestly, the only sword fighters I'd be fine with seeing these days are Sora, which he doesn't even fight with a sword, it's a keychain, but he would probably fight like a sword fighter, and Isaac from Golden Sun. That's it. I'm tired of seeing the sword fighters. I could have made a separate video talking about my problem with sword fighters in Smash, but let's see, okay? Okay. The most speculated characters for Smash DLC are, get this, Katalina from this game. None of us know that's a gacha game. She uses a sword. A Fire Emblem 3 Houses rep, which we do most certainly not need another Fire Emblem rep, and a Dragon Quest rep that also uses a sword. Now, it could be Slime, but I'm just sick of the sword fighters. I feel the DLC should be more so for variety. Include an actual interesting sword fighter. A sword fighter that could do more than just carry a sword. Isaac's out. They could have had Isaac as DLC, but he's an assist trophy instead. And he would have fit very well as a character. Sora is the only one I would want at this point, seeing how Isaac got deconfirmed as an assist trophy. You know, I'm just sick of the sword fighters. Do we really need more sword fighters? That's just my personal opinion. You can like the sword fighters if you want, but I just personally do not like the sword fighters. Now, characters like Link and some of the Fire Emblem reps, like Marth, Ike, and Roy, or even Robin to an extent, even though he's not really a sword fighter, I'm fine with. But characters like Lucina and Corrin, it's just, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. We need more variety. Like, and characters like Shulk. I know people will be offended by that, but personally, Shulk does fight like a sword fighter, so I do consider him. Like, most of the Smash 4 newcomers were sword fighters, and I'm just sick of the sword fighters. I want more of a variety. You know, now, I do have to applaud Nintendo. There actually was more of a variety in the roster for Ultimate than any other Smash game. Like, yeah, we have a sword fighter with Chrom, but we also have a gunner. We have a basic fighter like King K. Rool. We have like an all-around fighter like Isabelle. We have a powerhouse like Ridley. Like, we have a whole, variety of characters in the Ultimate roster, and and it just sucks that it feels like they might be just saving sword fighters for DLC. Nintendo, just don't do that, please. Please, we need more of a variety. I know some people like the sword fighters, and I know you do too, Sakurai, but we need more of a variety in this roster. We already do have a variety, but I'm just sick of the sword fighters. I really am. I just want something different. I don't want to feel like I'm playing as Marth 2.0 every time. I want something new. That's what the DLC should feel like. Something new. Not just Marth. Not just like a Marth skin. Like, please be something new. Be something people actually want. I know Nintendo's choosing the DLC, but adding someone like Katalina is very low, and I really do not want to see that, and I'm hoping to God that does not happen. Now, you guys can disagree with me. I'm not saying that you guys have to have the same opinion as me. I'm not saying that at all. I like when people have different opinions, because then, it's boring if you do have the same opinion. But I'm just addressing my feelings. Katalina comes from a game that shouldn't even be represented in Smash because of the genre. And, I just don't think it should happen. Like, when I looked it up, this game actually is available for PC. And when I looked it up, it honestly looked like a game that could get you a virus. Honestly. Nintendo, just don't do this. Don't add Katalina. Just keep it Nintendo and, you know, important third parties. Not third parties that are representing a bad look on the game. Because this is not a good outlook because Katalina is not a good outlook as a character, and I am hoping and praying she's not in the game. But then again, you might never know. It scares me that Verjaben is saying that this character is in the game, and I'm really hoping this is not the case. But we're just gonna have to wait and see, but I'm really hoping this is not the case. But anyways, what are your opinions on Katalina and Smash Brothers? Let me know in the comments down below, and I would love to hear it. Anyways, this has been Enigma, and peace. See you next time.